Welcome, my dear friends, to our Voice of His Kingdom weekly devotion. This is our episode 46, and I shall be taking my text from the book of Genesis, chapter 46, from verses 1 to 4. Let's read the text together. So Israel set out with all that was his, and when he reached Beersheba, he offered sacrifices to the God of his father Isaac. And then God spoke to him in a vision at night and said, Jacob, Jacob, I am God, the God of your father. Do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for I will make you into a great nation over there. I will go down to Egypt with you, and I will surely bring you back again. And Joseph's own hand will close your eyes. My friends, let's look at the background to our text. In our previous chapter, we saw how Joseph finally revealed himself to his brothers. He told them, I am Joseph. And he asked, is my father still alive? So we saw that the big cover-up was blown open and the lie of the gang of 10 uncovered, the 10 of his brothers. Joseph, however, was very magnanimous in his dealings with his brothers. Vengeance and accusations of treachery was the last thing in his mind. His priority was to save their lives, the lives of the family members. So he sent them to go back and bring their father and all members of the family, because the famine was still very severe and will not relent till the 7 years was over. So Jacob was skeptical initially, but when his children showed him everything that Joseph had given to them, the cats and the food and other things, his spirit was revived and he was willing to go back to Egypt with them. It was a great relocation, but Jacob and his entire family moved to Egypt. Before he departed, God spoke to him in a vision at night and said to him, Jacob, I am the God of your father, Isaac. Do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for I will make you into a great nation. What are the key lessons from our text? Number one, we can see that Jacob didn't just get up and go off on the journey to Egypt. He stopped off at Beersheba to offer sacrifice to the Lord, the God of his father and of his grandfather Abraham also. Beersheba was like the southerly border town in the former kingdom of Judah. So it was as if Jacob was leaving their own territory towards Egypt. And before he stepped into the territory of Egypt, he decided he would offer sacrifice and acknowledge the God of his father and bless him. So at this point in time, he remembered to stop and worship God, the God of Isaac. The same God that met him on his way to Paddan Aram, remember in Genesis 28, verse 13, in his younger days. And also in Genesis 32, on his way back to Canaan from Paddan Aram. So worship and sacrifice draws us closer to God and brings the Lord himself also closer to us. God is pleased with it because it is a recognition of the position of God in our lives. When we worship, when we offer sacrifice to our God, we are telling him, Lord, you are worthy. You are the only true God in my life. So that's what Jacob did. And following Jacob's sacrifice, God appeared to him to assure him of his divine guidance and accompaniment to Egypt. My friends, without God's presence, our journey will be futile. Jacob receives assurance and encouragement from the Lord, which was a big motivation to embark on the journey. Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. So Jacob's sacrifice and worship at Beersheba was an acknowledgement of God and trust in God's ability to protect him on the journey. So, my friend, one key lesson we can apply, therefore, from Jacob's journey is that he offered sacrifice and brought worship before stepping into the territory of Egypt. He wanted to be sure that God has been taken care of and that he is on the right path. And this is to say, Lord, I am seeking your face on this journey. So, my friends, sacrifice and worship in our own context today will be like seeking the Lord in special prayers for special needs and specific needs. And God does show up in definite ways to show us which way to go and what his will is. And as you do that today in your own circumstance, that God of Jacob will prove himself in your life. Thank you for listening. God bless you.